Every meeting is about the Epstein situation. Every Trump event and every Trump meeting, Trump administration meeting, Trump White House meeting is about the Epstein situation. Everything Donald Trump and everyone in his White House is doing all day, every day now is about the Epstein situation. It's about how to extract Donald Trump from his personal history with child rapist Jeffrey Epstein.
They say every meeting in Trump's White House is about one thing, Epstein. But today, a new twist. Trump's lawyer visited Ghislaine Maxwell in prison, and somehow we're supposed to believe it had nothing to do with Trump. Let's talk about the lie they're desperately trying to hide.
Donald Trump's criminal defense lawyer with a quick follow-up, and not another reporter in the room asked a question about Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell or Donald Trump's criminal defense lawyer meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell or Ghislaine Maxwell being switched to a low-security prison, which she was not qualified to be transferred to, and which is now involving extra expense for taxpayers because the security at that prison had to be enhanced simply because that one sex criminal has arrived at that prison.
Trump's press team says it's all a hoax. But what do you call it when the president's personal criminal lawyer meets with a convicted sex trafficker who just so happened to be his old friend?
28 questions by the White House press corps today were not about that, had nothing to do with that. And not one of those 28 questions got an answer from Donald Trump that illuminated anything. Not one of the 28 questions got an answer from Donald Trump that was real in any sense. Every one of those 28 questions got a flow of nonsensical gibberish from Donald Trump that included lies, and so the White House press corps is failing before our eyes. Every chance they get to question Donald Trump, every time they fail to pursue the only president in history who had a best friend for 10 years who was raping children nearly every day of those 10 years.
He knows. We all know. And yet most of the White House press corps is silent. 28 questions, and only 2 asked about Epstein. Who's protecting who?
Is President Vance hosting a gathering this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
Is he working on what?
Is he hosting some kind of gathering of top advisors this evening to talk about how to respond to the Epstein situation?
I don't know. I could ask you that question.
But not everyone dropped the ball. Bloomberg's Catherine Lucy and CBS's Nancy Cordes actually pushed Trump on Epstein, and he squirmed.
Donald Trump chose his vice president knowing that the vice president has the power to invoke the 25th Amendment, along with a majority of the cabinet, against Donald Trump to remove Donald Trump from the powers of the presidency. And so one of the requirements about being Donald Trump's vice president is that you must never have a meeting about Donald Trump that Donald Trump doesn't know about. And so Donald Trump told his idiotic lie today saying, I don't know. Is the vice president having a meeting about you? Answer, I don't know.
That wasn't just a dodge. It was a full-blown lie. Trump knew exactly what Vance was doing. And that meeting was about one thing: protecting Donald J. Trump.
We reiterate that Ghislaine Maxwell should have remained in a maximum security prison and does not deserve the luxuries currently afforded her. The White House reporters who changed the subject for Donald Trump both times, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, came up in the questioning today, could have asked a question about that statement by Virginia Giuffre's family. Why aren't the voices of the victims being heard at J.D. Vance's meeting about the Epstein situation? That would have been a good follow-up question to the 2 good questions that were asked today. But the rest of the White House reporters wasted their opportunities to question Donald Trump exactly as he expected them to do.
This isn't just about Trump. It's about the victims, the ones no one's listening to, including Virginia Giuffre, who was found by Maxwell at Mar-a-Lago when she was just in high school.
Donald Trump believes the word hoax is like a drug that he can administer to his followers so that they will then swallow anything else that he says after that word hoax. And it hasn't worked yet with every Republican member of the House of Representatives when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Some of them still want to know what's in the Epstein files, and some of them will get repeated opportunities to make that clear in votes in the House of Representatives.
Instead, Maxwell is in a country club prison, while survivors are ignored and Trump calls it all a hoax. Sound familiar? But here's the truth. This isn't a hoax. This is a pattern. And we should all be asking, what's really going on between Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell? And why is the media so scared to ask?